Welcome back to the Dime Comic Bros podcast. It is I, Spencer, joined by Collin. Collin,
Hi,
say your name for the class.
hi, my name's Collin. I'm an
Jacob.
addict.
Jacob is out for the week. He has work things going on. Scheduling's been a nightmare lately. Hopefully, the next few weeks will be a little bit easier.
Nope.
Yeah.
Wrong.
I said hopefully. We'll see.
It
You two
won't.
fuckers.
It won't.
So this week we have the news. Thankfully, no trailers this week. So Collin actually knows what the fuck's going on.
Do I?
You will when you read the words.
Yay! I know how to read.
From Marvel.com. Higher, further, faster, together. Marvel Studios' upcoming film, The Marvels, has received a new release date and will fly into theaters November 10th, 2023. I think it was delayed from like late summer. Delays are kind of always good, especially with the MCU's quality as of late.
MCU delays are something I don't get angry about anymore.
No,
The they need delays so
yeah,
they can actually finish their product and not just fucking ship it out to us and be like, yeah, this is good.
there's been a few, I think, unsubstantiated rumors from a few different sources lately that Marvel, like Kevin Feige told someone offhandedly that they're probably going to chill out for the next couple of years, which would be
Please, for
good
the love of God.
because, like, to some extent, I'm kind of interested in most of the projects they have, not necessarily all the creative people that they have involved, but like most of the stuff on the slate for the next few years looks interesting to some extent. But if it's going to all get pumped out before 2026, then that's that's way too much shit. Even if it was of a good quality, I will be tired.
Yeah, I feel like they would have gone through the next phase too quickly.
Yeah, I mean, I liked the phase lineup when it happened over. I think over the I think it was a couple months ago when that happened, and I think Jacob and I talked about that. Most of it looked pretty good. Most of Phase 6 was unannounced, but they had like a date range with the two Avengers movies and the Fantastic Four and whatever. But
Hmm.
like it was still, I think the last movie of Phase 6 was like 2026. It's like
That's a little sketch.
that's a lot of shit, man. The past few years have kind of been unbearably fast. The break that we had for like after, I think it was after Far From Home or after Far From Home, before Black Widow, was like a year, and I was hoping it was going to be so much fucking longer because holy shit, they got to work out this production schedule because otherwise even the good projects are really going to get bogged down by like the production line problems.
Yeah. So, exclusive from HollywoodReporter.com. Marvel Comics is going ape for 20th Century Studios with the publisher launching a new imprint dedicated to the storied movie studios properties. The imprint will launch with a new Planet of the Apes comic, which hails from writer David F. Walker, artist David Watchert, and cover artist Joshua Cassara. It will also include comics based on the Alien and Predator franchise. Very strange. Quote, ever since we announced our Alien and Predator comics, we hope to create a special space within our comics line to go even bigger and bolder and keep building on the iconic moments from these properties that we all know and love, end quote. Said Marvel Comics editor-in-chief CB Cebulski in a statement. Quote, this 20th Century Studios Comics imprint, in collaboration with our friends at 20th Century Studios, is the perfect way to do that. And now that we're bringing back Planet of the Apes again through classic comic book storytelling, we are absolutely thrilled to officially launch this imprint for the fans, and we're all honored to expand upon it in the upcoming months, end quote. Monkey, return to Monkey, but also I don't know how to feel about this.
No, all three of the lines have already been announced, and the Predator and Alien have already had runs in the past few years, which have been somewhat popular. I think it's just probably good that they're pushing it to its own like sub imprint, so it's a little bit less. I don't know. Maybe it'll deter one 5-year-old from accidentally picking up a comic book with gore in it or something. I don't know. It means that they're a little bit more distinct than the regular Marvel comics. It's not really a big change, but it makes sense
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Marvel is like owns it feels like everything now
because
for
they do.
comics.
Yeah,
So
it's
fucking weird.
horrible. Exclusive from HollywoodReporter.com. Dead Boy Detectives is moving platforms. The DC drama based on the Neil Gaiman and Matt Wagner comics has been sold from HBO Max, the Warner Bros. Discovery backed streamer that developed the show, to Netflix. Producers Warner Bros. Television shopped the drama after sources say the series didn't fit with the new chapter of content that DC executives James Gunn and Peter Safran are building for the comic book powerhouse. This makes sense because this was announced, I think, a year or so ago. It's loosely spinning off of the Doom Patrol episode that featured the characters, but with a different cast. It's kind of like what they did with Doom Patrol coming out of Titans with a mostly different cast and in a different universe. But
Wait. Doom Patrol and the Titans isn't the same.
no,
What?
no.
How
One,
the fuck
because
does that work?
that would be the worst universe ever. No, they're just on two different Earths. That's why in I think it's like the third or fourth episode of Titans, when the Doom Patrol is in it, only like two of the characters are played by the same actors. When they when that episode got a strong reception, they said, "Yeah, we should probably make a show about these characters." But they wanted to switch up the cast and whatnot, so it's in its own Earth. Even in the Arrow versus Crisis on Infinite Earths thing, they're on different Earths, like clearly labeled. Um, so I think that's kind of the thing here. I might be wrong, but I remember this was announced shortly after the season 3 episode with the Dead Boy detectives in Doom Patrol, and it's a
I don't.
different cast. So I think they wanted to like float the idea to the public, see if people would like it, and then they'll launch its own thing.
So I'm a little behind on Dead Boy Detectives. I don't know what that really is. And I keep hearing us talking about it a little bit, but I just haven't really said anything.
They're a couple
Um,
of British children who are ghosts, but they are detective boys. It's like the Hardy Boys, but what if they
I
were?
was just I was just
Yeah,
about to say, is it the Hardy Boys?
kind of.
'Cause every time you said the Dead Boy Detectives, all I could think of, wait, is that the Hardy Boys? I
Yeah,
can't
something in that
remember.
neck of the woods. It's a lot more mature than Hardy Boys books, but it's got that vibe to it. Um,
Oh
I
boy.
don't think this means it's going to coexist with the Sandman universe at all. They could. I don't really care either way. That wouldn't be the worst thing, but whatever. It just makes sense that they don't want to can the show, that they just want to put it on a different service because they're trying to unify so much stuff. Does it make sense?
I guess so,
I'm
yeah.
just glad it's not canceled because I was really looking forward to this.
Well, I need to go back to watch Doom Patrol again.
Did
Or
you
like keep
finish?
watching it.
How far through are you?
I think I'm still on season one, honestly.
Damn, you're slow, boy.
It's just hard. Sometimes I like it. It's just it's so much.
Honestly, I find it easier to binge a little bit, like at least a few episodes at a time, because it's so weird. If I'm in the right like mental state for just weird shit, I just accept it and move on.
Well,
So
yeah, but like I'm kind of like never in that mental state. I am somewhere else. My dad has watched more of the show than I have.
damn. Yeah, season 2 and 3 are a little weird, but I'm still waiting for the second half of season 4 to drop. I think it's coming during the summer where there's no release date for it, but whatever.
Damn. Oh fuck. Oh boy, this was long. It's got names.
It does
Ugh.
have names.
I'm scared. Okay. From HollywoodReporter.com, something is killing the children. Yay! The popular comic by, by James Tinian the Fourth and Werther del Edera, published by Boom Studios, is getting another shot at an adaptation from Netflix. Baron Bo Odar and Janti Price, the German creators of Buzzy Colt's series Dark in 1899, have been tapped to develop a series adaptation of the comic, one of the biggest titles not published by DC or Marvel. The project is the first to come out of the duo's freshly renewed first look overall deal with the streaming giant that is said to be in the eight figures. Bo Odar and Frice will write, showrun, and executive produce should the project get the green light. They while also well, they will also direct the pilot. Boom's Stephen Christie and Ross Ritchie will executive produce the adaptation. Tinian and Del Edera will co-executive produce. Boadar and Frice gained a following for their series, sci-fi and horror-tinged mystery shows praised for their craftsmanship and storytelling. Dark, in particular, may find some thematic overlap with children as it was an ensemble that focused on missing children in multiple timelines. Children's first story arc told of a town plagued by monsters that feast on children, with one teen survivor telling tales that no adult believes. Into this setting enters a mysterious young woman named Erica Slaughter. That's a fantastic name for a show about dead children. The woman who occasionally converses with her stuffed animal. Ah, me too. Isn't there to mince words, but rather to mince monsters. The comic then opened up its world, focusing on the monster killing Cable and its sinister politics. That's kind of, I have no idea what this is, but I kind of dig it.
I've been meaning to get to this. Like a lot of Tynan's been writing a lot of books lately that I haven't been able to get to, but this series is really big. But it's cool. I think the creative team is probably a good pick. I really liked Dark and 1899. I'm as always, Netflix cancels all their shows before they have time to actually flourish.
I don't think I watched either of those.
I think you'll like them. So I think it's definitely a good pick. Hopefully, it actually gets off the ground because I think this was supposed to be adapted as a film for Netflix a while back, and it just never got off the ground. From comicbook.com, the transformation of the Marvel Universe begins. That's the tagline for Ultimate Invasion, a new comic series from writer Jonathan Hickman of Secret Wars and artist Brian Hitch from The Ultimates. After the 2015 limited series Ultimate End concluded Marvel's Ultimate imprint that launched with Ultimate Spider-Man in 2000, Marvel briefly resurrected the seemingly destroyed Earth 1610 in 2017's Spider-Man 2 and again in 2020's Venom 26. Now, the Miles Morales Spider-Man and Ultimate Reed Richards, aka The Maker, will feature in Ultimate Invasion when it revisits the Ultimate Comics line, first in a free comic book day preview in May before Invasion hits stands in June. I think it's fair to say that both Brian and I have already put in our time doing Ultimate books, so when Marvel laid this project in front of us, we both knew there needed to be a good reason to revisit the idea of Ultimate Comics beyond beyond telling a cool story or just getting to work together, which is something we've been trying to do for years, Hickman told Entertainment Weekly, which revealed the first few preview pages. So with that in mind, it couldn't be replicated or revisiting what Brian did in the original Ultimates, creating a streamlined, modernized version, which would eventually become the spine of the MCU. And it certainly couldn't be what I did, which was a final chapter of a pre-existing universe. I've been trying to scour for more details on this, and I can't find shit. I'm very excited for it, though, because like most people in our age demographic, I started reading comics because of Ultimate Spider-Man. So I have a strong familiarity with this comic line, even if a lot of that universe was dog shit. It just, nostalgia and whatnot. And Secret Wars, the 2015 conclusion event is still one of my favorite Marvel books, period. So this is a good creative team. I have no idea what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah, I remember actually one of my first Spider-Man comics was Ultimate Spider-Man and that adaptation on how Peter Parker got bit and how he got his suit. It's funny, he just bought a spandex suit online and it looks exactly like the Spider-Man suit, but then he used a Sharpie to get all the lines on his suit Like the webbing and the spider, which is kind of funny, but also I really hate that. But otherwise, I really liked the Ultimate Spider-Man that I read growing up. So this would be cool.
It's just really funny that they're it was entertaining when Secret Wars happened. It was advertised as like, wow, look, the 616 and 1610 timelines are going to merge together. And it's like, no, they're not. You're only keeping two characters from the Ultimate Universe, Miles Morales and the Maker. That's it. You're only keeping those two. So it was marketed really funny. It was still one of the best Marvel events ever. It's just really weird. So it makes me very curious. I have not um, gotten through all of the Spider-Man books from like the later 2010s. I think Bendis worked on those as well. Um, I don't know much about that stuff, but I know that it seemed like Donny Cates was potentially going to head up this type of a story that just with the details that were dropped in Venom and some other assorted details from behind the scenes, it kind of seemed like this was a him thing, but he's kind of fallen off the face of the planet right now, other than vanish for seemingly personal reasons. So that would kind of track with um, Hitch and Hickman just kind of like stating explicitly that Marvel presented the idea of the book to them, not the other way around. It's kind of common practice. It's just something I noticed because just I don't know. He had been planting seeds of this in his other work before, but he seems
Mm-hmm.
to have come across some difficulties, let's say. So it makes sense to push this onto a team that's already familiar with the Ultimate Universe and are both pretty popular right now and have been popular for a very long time.
Yeah, you know how comics are. They're kind of weird.
Yeah,
So I kind of stay away from ongoing runs in like
yeah.
the big comic book
Mm-hmm.
creations like DC and Marvel. Like I haven't really found a good Spider-Man to like just jump into. I mean, I
Um, I
except
can give you
for
a list of recommendations. Never go with the ongoing series. The mini series are always good.
except I did jump into Superior Spider-Man a while back.
Yeah,
I need to collect those trades. Um, but I really liked those, even for the weird parts that it had. It still wasn't as bad as it could be.
yeah.
But moving on from DC.com, at the Comics Pro convention, DC illuminated the dawn of DC timeline to reveal its summer event, Night Terrors, written by Joshua Williamson from Superman, with art by Howard Porter from The Flash, uh, Gilliam March from The Joker, and more. DC also announced an exciting new update to its partnership with Japanese publisher Kodansha, uh, Kodansha, in which three of its manga comics featuring DC characters, Superman versus Menshi, Batman Justice Buster, and Joker One Operation. Joker will be released in English for the first time. The manga titles will be available in a serialized format digitally first as an exclusive for DC Universe Infinite subscribers, and then will be in physical collections later this year. Kicking off this July, Night Terrors is a mini-series in which Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman find the body of one of their earliest enemies at the Hall of Justice. Their investigation takes them past the land of the living, beyond the land of the dead, into a realm of nightmares. The only way to save the world is to call for the help of an unlikely hero. Dead Man. Hmm. I love horror comics, and it's been a blast bringing the energy to Dawn of DC. Night Terrors showcases the horror side of our heroes as a brand new villain confronts them with their worst nightmares, end quote, said Joshua Williamson. Quote, it's a fun and horrific event that brings together all of the heroes and villains of DC along with some surprises, end quote. Horror-focused events will take over the DC publishing line in July and August and will feature multiple two-issue miniseries from superstar creative teams yet to be announced. Each of the miniseries will feature a DC superhero or supervillain confronting their worst nightmares in a nightmare realm. The superheroes the superheroes better be careful, as whatever happens to them in the nightmare realm will also be reflected in the waking world.
Okay, I'm gonna be on this book every fucking issue. I'm wicked excited for this. The past couple of events, apparently from Williamson and Mark Waid, I believe, haven't been received super well. But there's been a trend where the philosophy behind the event comics is shifting to let's just do a fun thing and do it because it's fun instead of making every event like a universe spanning crossover crisis thing. And that's what this seems like because the Justice League is disbanded right now and the Titans are basically the Justice League. It makes sense that it's just the Trinity kind of like hanging out. I think that's
But this is a manga.
No, they're two different things.
Oh, we're talking about more than one. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
for some reason DC included them in the same article. They're two different things.
Oh, okay, I got mixed up because I was about to say, wow, that actually kind of sounds like a cool manga, and we're gonna have Dead Man.
That would be interesting. No, just there's a comic event that's going to happen over the summer, and then there's
And
just the mangas that have already been published are just coming to English.
I knew it. It was too good of a superhero story to be a manga.
True.
Here's my thing. I love manga, but they just cannot do they cannot do American superheroes. I don't know what it is. They can do Power Rangers. That shit fucking blasts like the original Power Rangers. I mean, I'm just talking about Japan in general. Like the original Power Rangers is like a way better storyline than the fucking white Power Rangers that we have here. Like especially the Green Candle arc. But
yeah, so it's just translations are happening. That's cool. I have no expectation of ever reading these because I've never seen a manga version of an American character I've liked.
Yeah, me either. I won't. Our local weeb here does not support manga versions of superheroes. Anime though is a different story because we got that in Gotham Knight.
Yes.
Yeah, that shit bang.
Yes. But Night Terrors looks really cool to me. I like that it's just a little short crossover with spotlights on different heroes, and that's it. There's no anything else. It's just, what if we did horror and made it spoopy? I'm a sucker for that shit. So
that would be cool.
Yes. From thepopverse.com, newly free from the Suicide Squad and looking to make a difference in the world, Christopher Smith has big dreams, but let's be honest, little ability to make those dreams come true. I think the writer of this article is calling him stupid. How can the fan favorite, morally dubious antihero make it happen? One thing's for sure. In the upcoming DC Black Label series, Peacemaker tries hard. Yes, that's the name of the comic. Peacemaker tries hard with the exclamation point. That's how you know it's the good stuff. Actually, there's another reason to know this is the good stuff. The creative team, which is perfect for this kind of material. The 6-issue series comes from Kyle Starks from Skybound's I Hate This Place and Assassination Nation, Steve Pugh from Flintstones and Harley Quinn Breaking Glass, and Jordi Belair. DC's official advanced description of the first issue runs a little something like this. Having earned his release from the Suicide Squad, Peacemaker wants to try to do normal superhero stuff for a change. Unfortunately, everyone, including the bad guys, think he sucks at superhero stuff. But when busting up a terrorist ring introduces Christopher Smith to the cutest thing to ever walk awkwardly on 4 legs, he finds the unconditional love he's been denied his whole life. That is, until the dog is kidnapped right out from under him by a supervillain who has some very unsuper heroic plans for Peacemaker's brand of ultraviolence. Will he help an infamously unstable, superpowered criminal steal the world's most valuable and dangerous DNA? Honestly, Christopher's pretty lonely, so it probably just depends on how nicely they ask. Peacemaker Tries Hard, issue 1 of 6, DC Black Label title, which means it's out of regular continuity, is also intended for mature readers and will be released on May 2nd. Okay, I did not like how that article was written, but I couldn't find anything else to use. This does look pretty cool, though. The cover looks nice, and he gets like a pug or like a French bulldog or whatever. It's a cute doggy.
Doggy, cute.
Big idiot man get dog. I dig.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm not really interested.
What?
Well, I love Peacemaker, but right now I'm not interested. So when it comes to comics and certain characters, I rather see live action. Certain characters, I'd rather see the comic versions. This is, at least for now, this is just one I'd just like to see John Cena as, and just because I loved that show and it was like my first interaction or one of my first interactions with Peacemaker. So I'm gonna keep low expectations, and then once I read it, hopefully it's good, and then I'll think it's like the best thing in the world because I kept my expectations low.
Fair.
So from Variety.com, HBO Max's The Batman spin-off series, The Penguin, has cast Clancy Brown in a uh curing reoccurring.
Recurring,
Wow. Recurring.
bro.
Reoccurring. Why not reoccurring? Whatever. HBO Max's The Batman spin-off series, The Penguin, has cast Clancy Brown in a recurring role Variety has learned. Brown will appear as Salvatore Maroni, a notorious Gotham City crime boss. The character was referenced repeatedly in The Batman as his arrest by corrupt Gotham officials and the collapse of his criminal empire allowed for Carmine Falcone's organization to rise. Maroni has previously been portrayed on screen by actors like David Zayas in Gotham at Fox and by Eric Roberts in The Dark Knight. Brown is not completely unknown to the DC universe, as he has repeatedly voiced supervillain Lex Luthor in numerous animated projects and video games over the years. Brown is also well known for voicing Mr. Krabs in the hit Nickelodeon cartoon SpongeBob SquarePants. In the live action world, Brown has recently appeared in shows like Dexter, New Blood, and the film Promising Young Women. He also is known for his role in films like The Shawshank Redemption and Highlander, which he will also appear in the upcoming film John Wick Chapter 4. He also, let's not forget, appeared in Mandalorian Season 1 and many Star Wars projects beforehand.
So the casting is great. I have no
I love
qualms.
it!
It's very good. I have a funny bit on this actually. So something I noticed in the Batman when I watched it, and I just never mentioned because it's not really important. Typically speaking, Falcone is like the head of organized crime and whatnot. And typically, Maroni is another family that works under Falcone and usually has a rivalry with him, kind of like a younger brother. This is how the comics tend to do it, and most adaptations do the same thing. But it's very strange that in the Batman, it's kind of the other way around, like before the events of the movie. I just think it's kind of interesting.
I like it. I think
I
it's
have
a
no
nice
qualms
little
with it.
spin.
It's
Oh,
just, it was
yeah.
just a weird. I
It's
was
just
like,
a funny thing to
huh.
point out.
Also, we had there was an actress cast, I think, a month or so ago for Sophia, which now picturing the two of them next to each other, I'm definitely see what they're going for. So I'm I'm looking more and more excited like for this show. Despite I was never like not on board with it. I'm this might be one of my most anticipated projects of the year.
I actually really like how we're getting all these projects that are within the Batman universe, like the Riddler comics, year one, and then now we're gonna have the Penguin, such. I like that it's like building on the universe, and we're getting to see more stuff, even though Batman's not the main focus or may not even be in it. It's just really cool to see this world build up. But also, I just wanted to point out, I love when like kind of big name actors are a part of like kids shows or like cartoons for years. Like him playing Mr. Krabs, I knew about that, but like when I found that out a couple years ago, I thought that shit was so funny because
Mhm.
also like Mark Hamill is mainly a voice actor. We all know this.
Nowadays, yeah.
Yeah, nowadays he's mainly a voice actor, and like he's played Skips, he's played Joker, of course, but he's just like all over the place. It's just so funny to see that. And fuck you, you get the best
Yes,
fucking.
but it's also because there's a shit ton of names. And then I had
Yeah.
one more thing with the Batman, with the Penguin. I want there to just be Matches Malone somewhere in the background.
Oh.
And that's it. It doesn't have to be referenced in the next movie. I don't need a wow, look, Batman shows up in the spin-off TV show. I don't want to see him at all. I want it to be focused. But just they had Pattinson on set for one day and he just puts on an outfit and is just spying. That's it. That'd be cool.
That would be funny. But I don't think it would be Matches Malone. It would just be Drifter.
I don't know, man.
What I was gonna say was that with Matches Malone, I think that's more of a more veteran Batman per se. So like say maybe in the next movie, I would say that we'd see Matches Malone because instead of just being a drifter, he'd probably be like, I want to get closer, I want to get more information. So he'd probably Matches Malone.
Yeah.
It would be an evolutionary thing. Like if the drifter would be gone, now we have like actual alter egos like Matches Malone.
I just want a baby cameo. I just really want it to not be like, wow, Batman is ruining our operations right now. And it's like, no, just do your own shit and then not have any Batman, please. That'd be cool. Just let it be its own thing.
Okay, get ready to talk about the thing.
Okay, so I have 3 articles back to back. So hold on with me. Exclusive from Deadline.com. Hellboy, The Crooked Man, plot and production details revealed by Millennium. Reboot to be a departure and first in a new series. Brian Taylor from Crank will be directing the new film, whose title is confirmed as Hellboy, The Crooked Man, with production starting next month in Bulgaria. Conversations with the cast are in late stages. Crucially for fans, and for the first time in the franchise, Mike Mignola, creator of the comics, has penned the script alongside his Dark Horse Comics collaborator, Chris Golden. The story will expand Hellboy's world through one of the most beloved issues in the comic book series. The next film will see Hellboy and a rookie BPRD agent stranded in 1950s rural Appalachia. There, they discover a small community haunted by witches led by a local devil with a troubling connection to Hellboy's past, the Crooked Man. In the comic, the Crooked Man was an 18th century miser and war profiteer named Jeremiah Whitkins, who was hanged for his crimes, yet returned from hell as the region's resident devil. Action specialist Millennium bought the rights to Hellboy in 2018, and the company is hoping this reboot can spawn a successful new series of movies after experiencing box office disappointment in the 2016 update starring David Harbour, which we discussed last episode. The Crooked Man is a departure from all previous Hellboy films, where Mike Mignola, the creator of the comics, will finally shepherd an authentic version of his stories and characters in film form, said Millennium Media's president Jeffrey Greenstein, who is at the EFM in Berlin talking to potential distributors about the project. This is the first in the series of films that will captivate audiences in familiar and new ways. Brian Taylor is an expert across the board, and I couldn't think of a better person to bring this story to life to show our audience this different and original Hellboy slate of films. From Deadline.com, Millennium Media's Hellboy reboot, The Crooked Man, has found its lead in the shape of Jack Casey from Deadpool 2. Casey is best known for playing Black Tom in Deadpool 2 and for movies WB's and for movies 12 Strong and Baywatch, as well as series Claws and The Strain. Jack Casey is a dynamic actor who has the ability to morph into his roles. His talent and stature are perfect for this younger Hellboy. I was very impressed with him while working together on The Outpost, said co-president of Millennium Media, Jonathan Younger. And an exclusive from Deadline.com. Hellboy reboot The Crooked Man adds Yellowstone star Jefferson White and Resident Evil's Adeline Rudolph. Jefferson White from Yellowstone will star as Tom Farrell, and Adeline Rudolph from Resident Evil will play Bobby Joe Song alongside Jack Casey from Deadpool 2 as Hellboy in Millennium's reboot The Crooked Man, we can reveal. White is best known for his roles in Paramount's hit Yellowstone, Endeavor's Eileen, and IFC Films' God's Country. Upcoming projects include A24's Civil War. Rudolph is best known for her roles in Netflix's Resident Evil with Ella Balinski, Netflix's Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, and the CW's Riverdale. She will soon be seen in Lionsgate's Creepers. I did not plan to talk about this directly after discussing the disappointing reboot, but man, was the timing perfect. Collin,
Yes.
what are your thoughts before I ramble on for too long?
Yes. I'm very excited. We found this out like while watching Hellboy, the third one. And you just made me realize that this David Harbour Hellboy came out in 2016?
2019.
2019. Okay, it started in 2016 because you said 2016.
I might be retarded.
You are retarded. You saw that six upside down. Fucking retard. So the 2019. Yes. I'm excited. Except for I got confused about the 1950 part. There, Hellboy would be super fucking young. Would he even be BPRD age yet?
Uh, Crooked Man, I think originally was in the 60s.
That makes more sense.
Let me double check. Let me fact check on that one because I don't care. But yeah, he was definitely young, and they're definitely aiming for a younger one. So
Fine, because then they can actually start with the universe.
yeah. So in terms of casting, I have not.
Shut up.
I have no familiarity with Casey or Kesey, however you say his name. But he definitely looks like visually like a good younger fit for a younger Hellboy. It speaks a lot, I think, that the like heads of the studio are coming out and saying that this is the guy that they want. So that's cool. The other two actors for the other co-leads, I have some familiarity with. I think they're good picks for their roles. Um, Obviously, I think the big thing here is that it's Mike at least writing the first script. I don't think I don't think this he's going to be involved in production all the way through. I think it's a he penned the first draft and then they will obviously bring on their own writers to polish it how they want. But if he's pushing the movie, he's involved in the early stages and it's directly based off of a comic that hasn't been touched yet by the other adaptations. I think we're in for a treat here.
I think that might be fun. I know why they picked Jack Casey now.
Yeah.
It's the nose. He's got that hooked nose.
Yes. So the Crooked Man was originally in 1958 in the comics, so that tracks.
Okay, as long as because I was confused because what they found Hellboy in 1940.
I think it was 40 or 42.
Something like that, and then okay, so 50.
He ages funny. No one cares.
Oh, I know, but he ages slowly. So yeah, no. As long as the comic is like the same, then I'm not too confused, and I'm fine.
No, it's cool. I like that they're taking a more isolated setting. As we've discussed a fair few times on and off air, not the biggest fan of Richard Corbin's art. Not gonna trash talk the somewhat recently deceased, but I really do like the Crooked Man's story. The setting is really interesting. I like the Appalachian setting and the just different vibes to it. So I think it's a good opportunity for like a tonally different movie. There was another detail that I think I missed in the main announcement. This is going to be rated R, and is like very horror focused, is what they said. So
yes,
that was one of the creepier comics for sure. That was some of the Crooked Man and like Crooked Man adjacent stories in that time period were pretty fucking gross. So I'm stoked, honestly. I see no red flags on this at all.
Am down. Am very excited for more Hellboy. Hope it good, because if not, I murder.
True. So moving on from Hellboy, but to continue the line of murder, Mandalorian season 3 episode 1 finally dropped this week.
Yes.
So we are okay. I have to get my bit out before I can give the plot synopsis. Outside of this show, Dave Filoni and Favreau are really trying to sell the idea that seasons 1 and 2 took place over years and that Grogu was with Luke for months. And it's fucking horse shit because even season 3, it clearly hasn't been that long.
No.
So it's just a thing that's really bothering me because they're really clearly like, we fucked up with having to use the side show to complete the plot and blah, blah, blah. But we talked about this when we talked about Book of Boba Fett.
Mm-hmm.
But outside of that, the actual episode, Mando goes back to Navarro because he needs to redeem himself by going to Mandalore to go into the wells and whatnot. But Mandalore, got fucking glassed. So he's trying to see if that's actually real or not, which it's not. We kind of know that, but like it's not. So he has to find a droid that can help him. He wants the IG unit from Navarro that he liked, whatever. So he goes, talks to Grief Karga, wants the droid, meets up with Babu Frick of all fucking people.
Ah.
And he also, this is about it, honestly. So there's, I actually have notes for this. I don't think this was as big of a bang as I was hoping for a new season. And I
Yeah.
think that might not have been the best choice. Usually I'm cool with like starting on the slower side.
We know why, because the big bang would have been literally Boba Fett.
Yeah.
That would have been the bang, and then get him back.
Right. That I think we talked about at the end of season 2 was like that him not having Grogu could have been like a whole season long arc, like easily, or at least a few fucking episodes.
That would have at least been a 4-episode, 5-episode arc.
Right. So
An arc.
It was definitely poor decision making, but I did like the episode quite a lot. I see very clearly the plot lines that we're going to have for the season. I think the A plot is going to be retaking Mandalore with Bo-Katan. The emotional plot that goes along with that is that Mando's going to Mandalore to redeem himself, et cetera, et cetera. When he comes back, he'll recruit Bo-Katan. That's going to be the midway finale, like the mid-season episode 4 ending. And then they'll go, rule Mandalore, et cetera, et cetera. The B plot, like the ongoing every episode thing, I think we're getting a pirate war with like everybody. And I think that's cool.
That seems pretty cool. So I am just going to start talking about stuff I love about this episode so far. I loved that we got to see tons of Mandalores just doing their basically their Mandalorian baptism. That's what it was to me. I was like, oh, I know this. I remember this growing up. I know what baptism is. This is cool. And then of course, Mando comes in to save the day, and everyone's like, "Oh, I'm kind of pissed off about that." But it's like, shut up! All you guys were about to fucking die. None of your guns were penetrating that skin of that weird water creature. You guys just suck.
It's like a big alligator.
Yeah, and then Mando just comes in driving his Honda Civic.
It's a shiny Honda Civic. Okay,
it is. It is.
He spray painted it silver.
It's a souped up, shiny ass Honda Civic with the engine just like broken out of the top of the hood, and he's got a little car seat in the back. That
I know you really like the original ship, but I really like the Naboo starfighter that he has now. It's adorable.
I'm glad that at least the type of the type of ship he has is a Naboo starfighter, because that shit's fire. That shit's so cool. But it's like it's like he reverted. Instead of like, I have a Honda Civic and now I have a child. Okay, now I have Dad Van. It was like he had Dad Van, and then he now has Honda Civic. It's like, okay, yeah, I loved it. Yeah, just seeing all the different Mandalorians with their helmets and just the gear is so cool. And then just seeing Navarro change so much.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
This is where I'm okay with like their whole not time jump, but like their stupid timeline. I'm like, okay, fine, you can have it, because Navarro is so advanced from when we last saw it.
I think my real my like indicator on whether or not I actually give a shit about that is it annoys me because it's clearly them backpedaling.
Yeah.
But up until this show interacts with like anything close to the sequel trilogy, it's like the timeline's kind of stretchy. It's like it doesn't really matter how long it's over. It would add more dramatic weight if they had actually timed it correctly, but it's not like my canon lore keeper brain isn't like going off about it, because there's a really long time gap before we have anything else. So yeah,
it's fine. But then I was also thinking that, well, this is Star Wars. They can probably build shit super fucking fast.
Yeah, it's clearly because they're under new leadership, and I like that. I really like one. Just Carl Weathers in general as Grief Karga as is fucking awesome.
Yeah,
Um, he got the drip. He got robots holding his cape.
I know. I thought that was like, oh my word, this guy reverting? I hope he's not reverting.
No, although I have to say it, I don't care how bad it sounds. Black guys in Star Wars are drippy as fuck.
They are.
It's a lot. I love it.
So this could be probably cut out, but
It's true though. What the fuck?
but hold on. If you think about it, a white guy versus a black guy dressing, you know who actually knows how to dress.
Well, yeah.
I mean, just look anywhere. Just look at their culture. They're just so vibrant and they know colors way better than us.
But the thing is, because it's Star Wars, the like what we consider races, one, they're not races, they're just colors. So like it does, and in Star Wars, it's never been brought up as a thing that anyone thinks about because there isn't like a human planet. Humans are just everywhere. So
Yeah.
it's really funny, like watching it from the outside. There's no justifiable reason why their outfits are like that, but I really like it.
Lando, and we have Grief Karga, and we have those are the main ones I can think of. I mean, but damn, Lando and Solo is just so fucking trippy. All the capes he has. Anyway, sidetrack. Mando. Let's see what else. Oh, and I loved seeing the Mandalorian castle.
That was cool.
That shit was awesome.
Bo Katan was doing the bisexual can't sit in a fucking chair correctly thing. That was quite funny.
Why did Bo Katan look so attractive this season?
Because she always looks attractive, Colin.
Oh, no. She was like kind of like I saw her. I was like, okay, I can see why people would
I
be
think
like.
they did her eyebrows differently.
I don't know. She just looked very like. I was like, mommy. I
Bonk.
have I have not seen you as a mommy before.
Bonk.
Mommy?
I like that they're not glossing over the Darksaber stuff because I remember during the end of season 2, we were all like, wait, so fucking what? You can just give it back? And it's like, no, you can't do that. So I think it's I don't know. I wish they gave her some more screen time in this episode, but because I think that's gonna be like that's the big plot, but such is life. I had one note which I actually was expecting to hate and I kind of liked. I like Babu Frick in Rise of Skywalker because the movie's ass. But when they announced that he was going to be in this season, I went, "Oh wow, look, it's a ship Glutto." You know, the guys, look at this character. You know, you should clap now. Shit, because it's like a Star Wars Twitter has this term for it. It's a ship Glutto. You know,
Yep.
retarded Star Wars name, whatever. There was no applause for that. Like it was just here's a little race of mini boys that just fix shit, and I couldn't even tell which one was actually Babu Frick. So I'm down with that.
I
Like
didn't know Boba Frick was actually in this. I thought it was just the race.
nope, Babu Frick was I think he was the one talking the most, but like
Uh,
the fact that they didn't go, I know a guy. Oh yeah, and then the music swells, and then it's this little 2-inch tall man. Like I'm glad they just ran with it.
I thought it was funny and cute, and also that there's a literal building that accommodates just them.
It's so cute.
And you see Mando, he's all like huddled up in there.
I don't understand how he got inside.
I'm thinking about like imagine him crawling, dude. He had to like army crawl so hard to get out of that door. And then we have Grogu trying to hug him because Grogu. All I can think about. So I've been watching this thing called Tales from the Sticky Dragon, their D&D campaign. There's one character. His name is Gumbo or Gum Gum, and he's a barbarian. His class is that, but the character thinks he's a flower wizard because he can summon flowers with a spell, and he wants to be the greatest wizard in the world, but he's a fucking barbarian. And all I could think about was him because Gum Gum always hugs people, and so Grogu is just hugging him like, "No, you're gonna do what I tell you to, what my dad wants you to do."
I just like the fact that Grogu can mog the shit out of all of them, and he's only like 6 inches tall.
I know, I fucking love it.
We had the obligatory. There was 2 of them. There's that, and the other obligatory. Grogu does something cute that the internet can ooh over, and he was using the Force to make the chair spin around.
Yes, that's great.
I did the I had a reaction to that. You know,
I did too. I
if
love
I had the Force, I would be doing that.
I think it's okay when Grogu is doing something off in the background. It just means that the world is alive
Yeah,
and not everyone is focused on the one fucking like, oh, there's people talking now. Everyone's serious and standing around in a circle. It's just these two characters are moving around the room, talking like normal people do, moving around the fucking room. And then you have another person who doesn't isn't really involved in the conversation because they're a child, so they're just kind of like doing child things, like spinning in a fucking chair. Every kid does that.
I think the reason I liked it more, and it doesn't bother me because Grogu oscillates between holy fucking shit, get him off screen. He's just here to sell toys and is literally perfect baby.
Yes.
I like that they framed it just as a background element. It wasn't the frame that you see now is just Grogu spinning in a chair and like that's it. Like it's just it. The scene is about Din and Grief talking and
Yes.
then he just stops the chair with his hand like that I like the framing of that better than what they tend to do where it's like a big close-up and they're like look at him eat the frog, oh my god, you want to buy a plushie now.
Nah, I was thinking that too.
Yeah, I is cool. Last note I had, so the composer for Book of Boba Fett is the guy who's doing this season because I'm assuming Ludwig Göransson just costs too much fucking money these days. um I thought the music was fine. He carried over all the same themes and stuff. Nothing seems to have changed, and that's the only thing I'm asking at this point.
No, it wasn't bad.
Like the Mandalorian has a really good musical identity in its like sound mixing as well, and I'm glad it didn't immediately fall on its face.
Yes. So, sir, are we done talking about Mando?
I am.
Me too.
Okay.
I loved it. I'm probably gonna go buy some more Lego sets.
Good God, man, get help.
Yeah, I need help. I'm probably just gonna, actually, no. People have made the custom Naboo Starfighter. I'm just gonna buy the instructions and then buy separate parts.
So I read a book. I've read a couple of books actually, maybe. So I read the Death of Superman 30th anniversary special one shot thing.
Okay.
So I like the Death of Superman event. It was one of the first like event comics that I read. It still holds up pretty well, but it is obviously very much so a product of the 90s, et cetera, et cetera.
Of course.
So this is just like a little anniversary special thing. It's like, wow, look, they got the entire creative team from the original event to come back for this, which I think is cool. A lot of these people are just really big names in the comic industry, and a lot of them still do fantastic work. So it was written, well, it's one long story, which takes up about half of the book. And there's like 3 or 4 short stories afterwards. I don't remember who does what exactly, but it's written by Dan Jurgens, Jerry Ordway, and Roger Stern, with art by Brett Breeding, Lee Weeks, Bill Sienkiewicz, and Walt Simonson. I'm glad that they got the whole team for it. The thing with this is, though, is it doesn't really do anything, and that's kind of the nature of like anniversary specials. Usually, for a lot of characters, say it's like DC does their 80th anniversary of this character, so they have a shit ton of short stories. They're not supposed to go anywhere, but this really felt like it didn't go anywhere, even more than normal. The first story was like an epilogue to the Death of Superman event. It's where Jonathan Kent finds out that his dad fucking died, and I was really hoping that it would be given more emotional weight than it was, but it kind of wasn't. One of the construction workers that cleaned up after the Doomsday fight took one of like Doomsday's bone spikes back to his apartment, and it's like slowly mutated him into like a second Doomsday, and then he fights Superman. That's basically it. And the other stories are just like Ma and Pa Kent going through newspaper clippings and what are those things called? Scrapbooks
Yes.
of Clark's life, and like reminiscing about how sad they were when he died and stuff. And it just, I still read stuff from all of these writers, and I still like, particularly Bill Sienkiewicz and Walt Simonson still do phenomenal art. But this book just felt really like a product of the 90s, and not in the good way. Not even in the dumb bad way like Venom, where it's like mega 90s ultra cringe, but it's kind of funny. Um, this just felt really stiff in its writing and posing and stuff. It had a weird vibe to it that I didn't appreciate. It just doesn't really work, which is sad because I think the event still holds up well, even if you can get past the 90s era design. Um, and the action sequences were fine. The coloring was solid. I think there's a alternate cover for this book. Um, it might be the main cover for like the basic edition or whatever. That I don't know who the fuck does it, but it's like a modern kind of recreation of a bunch of the Death of Superman covers pushed together into like one mural with Jonathan Kent like holding a newspaper, finding out his dad died. And I think that cover is better than the rest of the book, which is just disappointing. It's not angering. I paid $10 for it. It's a one shot. It's like 64 pages. It's not the end of the world. It did come in a black, like sealed plastic bag, like the Death of Superman comics did originally, which I think is a nice touch. It definitely wasn't worth the $10 though. I bought it at Jetpack. I'm not going to touch this again. Probably, I'm just going to put it away in like my singles box, and that's it. It's disappointing, but like I have no reason to be upset with it. It's a short little kind of self-congratulatory jerk off session, such as life.
Such is life.
What have you been doing?
Oh boy. Shit. I forgot to read it. Well, nothing. I've been busy.
I have another one that's kind of long. I have to balance it out with something. It can't just be me talking, Collin.
It can. You gotta ask questions now.
Yeah. Are there any DC or DC owned properties that you would like to see an additional adaptation for outside of the new DCU continuity? So, not the Constantine sequel that we're getting, not more Sandman, not
Constantine sequel?
Yeah, we talked about this a while ago, you
I
dipshit.
don't remember shit, dude.
We're both very excited and happy about it.
Okay, keep going.
So stuff like that. It's not more the Batman universe, just any other Elseworlds things, preferably something quirky, offbeat, unique, like a Vertigo book or something that you think would be a good TV show or movie that you don't want to see them use in the DCU. And pitch it to me. Do an elevator pitch.
It's 2019. The world is craving some new entertainment, something new that everyone can love, from drama to family problems to religion. This summer, wouldn't you love to see Punk Rock Jesus? Yeah, yeah, baby, yeah.
I forgot that was a Vertigo book.
Yeah, I was looking at my bookshelf, and then once you said, I was like, what if Rorschach, Tom Taylor, Nightwing, and then you said Vertigo. I was like, eyes down, looking through my eyebrows. Punk Rock Jesus, right on my bookshelf. Imagine that, a TV show about Punk Rock Jesus, and it's so fun. You wouldn't have to use like any CGI at all because it's just like practical effects, most of that shit in Punk Rock Jesus. So, get an angry fucking Irish dude, buff as fuck Irish dude, playing the bodyguard to Jesus.
Who do you cast as your Jesus?
Oh fuck, it's got to be a young kid. Timothy Chalamet.
Oh, that would work, but I hate you.
But because like this is not like a serious, like, I mean it is, there's serious moments, but it's not like a really. I could see Timothy Chalamet as Punk Rock Jesus.
He can ham it up. He's despite being a really high profile name, he's done a lot of roles.
He needs to shave his head to get the spikes.
Oh my god.
Has to commit.
You know what? Fuck it. I'd pay money for that.
Yeah, dude. Like 2 seasons max. Punk rock Jesus. Or like a 26 episodes 1 season.
20. Okay, that feels like a lot.
No.
I think that's a bit much.
Oh. No, or okay, fine. 15 episodes.
Fine. Here is your $100 million budget, good sir. We will shake on it now.
Yep. Oh. And Sean Murphy has to be there to work on it.
Well, yeah.
Obviously, he's gonna. I would make him director or something.
Something.
He's just got to be there.
He's got to do storyboards.
Yeah.
Okay, well, speaking of nothing like that at all, I read. I've been moving through Nightwing slowly, not really slowly, actually. I read the first 5 volumes of Nightwing Rebirth. They're all written by Tim Seeley, so that's why I'm doing them together. They act as kind of a sequel to the Grayson run that I talked about last week. So this is 5 volumes, 5 trades. It includes Better Than Batman, Back to Bloodhaven, Nightwing Must Die, Blockbuster, and Raptor's Revenge. It's all written by Tim Seeley. The art is, there's a little bit done by Yannick Paquette. Most of it is done by Javier Fernandez, and there's also a bit by Marcus Toe and Chris Sotomayor. This includes issues 0 through 4, 7 through 28, and 30 through 34. After 34, Tim Seeley left the book, and it got a new creative team. The only issues not included were for 2 crossovers. One was the Monster Men crossover with Batman. That was only 2 issues long. And the other one is a single issue. Issue 29 was a metal crossover issue. So they're just not included here. Basically, Nightwing is going back to basics. It's Nightwing doing Nightwing shit, and he's back in Bloodhaven. Unlike the Nightwing Prince of Gotham omnibus book that I talked about a while ago, he was in Gotham for that, which was kind of weird. Then he went to Chicago, et cetera, et cetera. In like post New 52 continuity, Nightwing had never been to Bloodhaven before as Nightwing, which is a really weird change that they made offhandedly. So the way that it happens is, so in this run and the last run, he has met Nightwing. You know, Nightwing's second dad is Superman. This version of Nightwing was inspired by the New 52 Superman, who's not really our Superman when you get down to it. And then when he meets post-crisis Superman, like our Superman, the real Superman, when he comes back, he actually doesn't know who he is. And he's kind of wary of him because he doesn't know him as Superman. It's really weird, but they kind of handled it well. So he's like, hey, on my world, Nightwing went to Bloodhaven. So he's like, well, shit, Superman's telling me to do something. I better go do it. So it's kind of like echoes of the past in a sense, which I think was kind of cool. I don't think they overdid that element. So he goes to Bloodhaven. He sets up a new base of operations, blah, blah, blah. There's a bunch of different villains. The big villain for most of this arc is Raptor. And it turns out he is the plot of this starts off with him, with Nightwing being an agent, quote unquote, for the Court of Owls or for the Parliament of Owls. I don't remember which one it is. But he's a double agent. He's going to cross them because they're going to kill Damien or whatever. He teams up with another person who's being used by the Court/Parliament of Owls, Raptor, who turns out is a guy from his parents' childhood. Like that could have been his dad, basically. That was like his mom's previous best friend, almost boyfriend, kind of. So Raptor is a really weird character with a lot of problems. He has leprosy, so he can't feel pain. Like he has no nerve endings. And he's got a sick ass outfit, and he's got like a claw hand, like a lot of the Talons do. That includes also, it's like a whole utility belt in one glove. It's wicked weird. But just, it's a lot of secrets and my mom had a other boyfriend and blah, 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 blah. Lots of stuff. Other villains for this arc include Blockbuster, who's basically Bane. Like he just takes drugs to get big. He's fine. They expand on him in a way that's pretty useful. There's an arc in the middle, which includes the runoffs. They're a group of like reformed ex-villains who now live in Bloodhaven, and they all run a support group together, which I think is a cool concept. The villains themselves were fine. I think they're all new characters. The highlight of the group was someone who used to be known as Defacer. She was like a graffiti artist that Batman and Robin had busted years prior. And now that she's reformed, her and Dick kind of, they kind of, they're dating for a while, actually. It's really cool. And I actually really like their relationship. When it ends, it feels like an editorial, hey, we want to go back to like a Dick Corey or a Dick Babs ship. We need you to like have them not be together, which is really disappointing because I really like the character of Sean. It's a little messy on the whole, but the run does conclude itself pretty well. Raptor comes back as like the wrap up. He's basically me, but in comic book form in terms of political ideology, so that's fun. He goes a little Joker mode at the end and is like, I'm gonna kill babies, which I hate when they do that. Not literally, but like he just kind of goes overboard.
You're gonna kill babies?
No, shut up. The aesthetic of Bloodhaven here, I actually think they did really well. It's Collin, you know what Gotham Knights, the video game, looks like? It's like kind of like a neon, kind of like a Joel Schumacher look to it.
In like a neon world where you like literally don't see any guys anywhere, and it's like super open, like a shitty Roblox game.
Okay, that's not. I meant the aesthetic. It's the contrast in aesthetic between Gotham Knights and the original Arkham series feels kind of like what the old Bloodhaven was like in the old Nightwing comics, and what Bloodhaven is like now. It doesn't look like Gotham. It looks like a place riddled with casinos. It's really interesting aesthetically, and it provides a good contrast with Gotham, and it goes well with Nightwing. I like that they wrap up the Court of Owls stuff fairly early on. It's cool, but they don't overplay it, and that's been the problem with the Court of Owls lately, is they keep overusing them. Yeah, most of the art across the board here is good to really good. I believe all the stuff done by Javier Fernandez, I really, really like. This was also, I believe, a weekly comic. So there's a lot of issues of this, and they were pumped out very quickly. It's just kind of a strange detail. Comics haven't been weekly for a few years now. All the art is at least good. I really like the coloring. I don't know what it is, but I have a brain worm for some reason. The color, the almost neon blue that the colorist uses for this entire run for Nightwing it makes me come. It's so good. I look at it and it makes me happy. Like I can't explain it. Shut up, Collin.
It makes me come when
it makes my brain really happy. Like I love.
Hold on. You heard it here first, folks. It makes Spencer come when there's bright colors.
So yes,
that's neon green.
Oh yeah.
The coloring across the board is very good, but I really think that for some reason that thing just really sticks out. I bought each of these trades for between $15 and $20. Some of them were from Stairway to Heaven. Some of them were from the Jetpack sale table. They're all worth it. Some of them are better than others. I think the Raptor arcs are better than the stuff with Blockbuster, but that's just kind of my taste. This was a really good follow-up to the Grayson run. It's not quite as good, but this feels like a consistent run with itself. On the whole, I think each book pulled its own weight in the run. Even if there were parts of it I didn't enjoy as much as others, it all felt at least solid. It was well written. It was well constructed. It feels like a complete arc on the whole over the 5 collected editions. And I think that's important, especially as comics kind of move more towards reading 4 collected editions instead of reading single issues. It felt like it was a good place for Seeley to leave the book. Whether that was his choice or not, I don't know. I don't really care. It just seemed like a good ending. He uses his own villains and his own characters to complete the arc, and he leaves it in a decent spot for another writer. I would recommend it for anyone looking into Nightwing. I don't necessarily think it's the best spot to start, not because it's hard to follow, just because it's very. I think there's better stuff to read, but I definitely think it's better. It's a better starting point than Prince of Gotham, which is funny because that was supposed to be like a jumping on point for the New 52. I'm going to slowly be chipping away at the rest of the books, but because they all have different creative teams and whatnot, it's going to be a lot slower than this.
Yes, that's why I've jumped all the way to just Tom Taylor Nightwing.
I'm almost there.
Fucking the best Nightwing ever.
I know. I'm aware. I gotta make the brainworms go away.
Oh, annoying. Now I have my brainworms are making me wait because I own all 3 of the like trades and I've already read them. I totally forgot that I already read when they were in issue form, I already read them.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
You're stupid, innit?
Yeah, at least I didn't buy them physically. It was just over Comixology, which I've gotten rid of.
I swear, I'm going to show you the coloring on those books and I think you'll get it.
I think you're just gay and dumb.
Maybe it is. It is like a barely describable thing. Like it's not like it makes the book better because the one color tickles my brain, but I look at it and it's like I would never pick a different blue ever. It's so good.
Blue.
It's just weird.
You got brainworms.
I do have brainworms. You know who else has brainworms?
Who?
Our patrons.
Oh, so you're just going to skip over me, not ask me another question?
What, do you want me to ask you another shitty question?
Probably not, but I totally forgot that we didn't talk about the space whales in Mandalorian.
I forgot. Oh, fuck. Jacob, put this back in the Mandalorian section.
Yes, there we go.
Yes.
Nope.
There were space whales in hyperspace, and it made me chuckle.
Yeah, because that was first seen in Rebels, if I'm correct.
Yes. It's been followed up on a few times, but yeah, the space whales were very plot relevant in Rebels.
Yes. So that was kind of cool to see.
Jacob's not going to put this all the way back because he's not going to know this clip exists. He's going to put this at the end.
Probably, but that's okay. What was it? It's just cool in The Mandalorian to sometimes like it's Grogu that sees these weird little bits. It's kind of like, even if it's nothing and it's not going to amount to anything, it's more of like a fan service, I guess, the best way to describe it, where we just get to see stuff from other shows or other universes, but it's nice. It's kind of cool that it's seen through the eyes, or it's shown through us through the eyes of Grogu, because if it was seen by anyone else, it would probably be like, now they're in fight or flight, they're kind of scared, like, what do we do about this? Am I going to attack them? But no, he gets a little scared and he just goes and sleeps with his dad. He gets a little hug from his dad. They take a nap in hyperspace.
Yes.
Which was cute. I loved that.
So you
also,
know who...
Also, about the ship, we don't know. I just realized that there's like secret little doors and compartments because he got into the cockpit through the droid area, which is kind of weird. I want to know how that works. I want a detailed skeleton of that ship, and I want to know how it works.
Next year, I'd be willing to bet the next Star Wars expanded visual guide will have one.
That'd be cool.
They always do.
Yes.
So you know who else has brainworms? It's for you to say, dipshit.
I also have brainworms, but our patrons do too.
Yes, if you would like to support this show, like our patrons, Jeff Lawrence and Caitlin, that'd be greatly appreciated. You can find us on patreon.com/dimecomicbros network. We have a bunch of different tiers with different cool rewards, like stickers, exclusive access to clips and segments from the podcast that gets removed, as well as Dime Comic Bros Happy Hour, which is our little... extended rambly bullshit session we have afterwards, as well as early access to all of our regular episodes of both of our podcasts, and just a whole bunch of other random bullshit art. Collin will do art for you and stuff and things and whatever.
Maybe if I get around to do it, because I'm a lazy piece of shit.
He is a lazy piece of shit. But yeah, if you want to support us, that'd be greatly appreciated. Follow our Twitter, Instagram, and check on the YouTube community tab for updates and previews for whatever we're working on, as well as shout outs of other people's projects. Collin, what are you doing? Also, go visit our website at dimecomicbros.com for sources on the news segments, and a shout out to our partners at Jetpack Comics and Games in downtown Rochester, New Hampshire. Over at the mega store, they have basically anything a nerd could want. They have snacks to start off. They have snacks. They have books, comics, graphic novels, illustrated guides, video games, all sorts of crazy stuff. They also have an arcade cabinet and a pinball machine. And they support us. So go support them for us. I, in fact, had like a 4-hour-long conversation with Kyle yesterday. I think it was more like 2 hours, but like I was there during Magic Night, and I just wasted his time the whole night by talking about random stuff.
I think it's so funny how you talk to those guys for so long, and then like I just have like a quick chat because I don't want to waste their time, and then I run. Because I don't know how to end it. So I'm like, all right, yeah, so have a nice day. Bye.
It depends on the day. If I'm going in on a Tuesday or Wednesday to like pick up books, I usually try to make it quick because like it's a work night and whatever. But if I'm there on a Friday night, like I have nowhere to go. The store's going to be open late. So like that's when I'll talk to Rich about the weather or whatever, you know?
The weather. You're such a fucking dork.
Yeah.
The weather, yeah. He's like, oh yeah, dude, I saw about that in the little comic catalog.
Oh goodness. Next week we will. I don't know what the fuck we're doing. We're gonna work it out. All three of us will definitely exist. We have to figure out what we're doing, but we will be talking about the next episode of The Mandalorian for sure. So we got that going for us. Tune in. That's cool. I'd appreciate it. It would be deeply important for me. We're at 99 YouTube subscribers, and I really need the last one. I need one more.
At 99?
Yes.
I didn't know people actually fucking listen to us. I thought it was like
that doesn't mean that they're listening. It just means they're subscribed.
Yeah, I guess so.
We do get like 20 views an episode, though, which is something, but also most of those don't listen all the way through. So who fucking knows? But I want the even 100. It hurts me.
I would say I'd go subscribe, but I'm already subscribed.
I doubt you're actually subscribed to your own YouTube channel. I doubt it.
Hold on.
Show me right now.
Subscriptions. Oh, what's that? What's that right there? One of the first ones, dimecomicbros.
Damn. I thought I got you on that one.
No. Can't get me on that, bitch.
Wow. Cool. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.